one of the most shocking things I saw in the last few days was that Elon Musk tweets out that DOGE discovered that, among other things, that payment approval officers at the Treasury were instructed to always approve payments, even if they were known to be fraudulent or to go to terrorist groups. So he's saying they literally never denied a payment their entire career, not even once. Have you looked into this at all? You know anything about this?
Well, I've seen what you've seen. We
Yeah.
now have a group of staff within the Treasury who are trying to get a court to get Elon out of their system. The filings look pretty threadbare to me. But again, as we learned during Trump's first term, that doesn't matter as long as you find the right judge, and then the judge will put a restraining order on the whole thing. And then they'll put a stop to it, at least for a while. So they will try and sabotage it. I don't think they will altogether, the people who are suing, but they will at least kind of hobble it. They'll stop it for a while. It is mind-boggling, and I'm sure it's true. Elon wouldn't have said it if it wasn't true, that everything just gets signed off. It's like some kind of a tacit understanding. We'll just sign off on everything. You leave us alone. We leave you alone, and everyone just skims the system. It's absolutely shocking. I think what we're going to find out here in the next few, as I said earlier, I think this is a 4-year thing. This isn't going to blow over in the next few weeks or months or whatever. This will go on, and we will find so much corruption, so much waste, so much fraud. It will just totally blow our minds. When we saw what happened when Elon bought Twitter, and it was a similar experience, but on a much smaller kind of level. It was pretty mind-blowing at the time because it exposed government corruption, and it exposed the censorship regime, and it exposed that the government had backdoors into Twitter where they could flag tweets and get people removed and all this horrible stuff. Well, Elon uncovered all of that as soon as he bought Twitter, and now he's doing it again, but he's doing it on a whole different level. He's doing it on the federal government level. And I think we've just kind of scratched the surface here. This is like not even a tip of the iceberg. This is just the tip of the tip. There's going to be so much more.
Right. So you say they might try to block this. So if they block this, it goes to a federal judge. Then if they appeal it, it would naturally end up going up to the Supreme Court if it had
Correct.
to.
That's right.
How long would that take to play out?
Well, that sort of depends a bit on the Supreme Court. They can accelerate that. I hope they will. But we're looking at months anyway. Whatever's going to happen. I mean, if it's a really urgent issue because someone claims their lives have been upended and they're not getting any money and whatever, that can be accelerated. But you got there's one judge now has a temporary restraining order on on Elon Musk going in there. So that's then going to go to appeal, and then that's going to take, you're going to have filings. I mean, that's going to take at least a few weeks, probably more. So this is all going to take a while. The important thing is to move fast. While this is going on, Elon and President Trump just need to do other things. They need to blow up other things so that you keep having the other side kind of scramble and always on their back foot, always like, oh, we need to sue here, we need to sue here, but always make sure that you're a bit ahead. And by the time you've destroyed 3 or 4 other things, then you can go back to the initial temporary restraining order, and you can try and win your case there. Again, with this, the forum shopping is absolutely ridiculous. The forum shopping means where these litigants, these phony litigants, they literally choose, as mentioned, Rhode Island, Hawaii, or whatever, some place where they know they're going to get a good judge, and then they just go there, even though there's no real ties to that place. But that's how this works. And so eventually, unfortunately, you're probably going to have to wait until it goes to the Supreme Court to kind of get finality and to be able to move forward. I think in the long run, we're going to find that the Supreme Court is going to rule in favor of President Trump's administration on all or most of these things. And what that will do is it will really kind of entrench this idea of executive power instead of the fourth column, where you have the bureaucratic power, the bureaucrats run everything. I think we will see a huge realignment, not just for the next 4 years, but basically, for the next generation or so, where the Supreme Court will say, look, our Constitution has three pillars, three powers, not four. And the bureaucrats who kind of created their own power over the past, 50, 60 years, they need to give that back because they're under the executive. That's their area, and that's run by the president. So, but it is, I mean, you probably find the same when you read these newspaper articles where they say there's a coup going on. I mean, I was reading today, there was a bunch of them that said there was a coup, or, President Trump's people weren't allowed to go into the Treasury or not allowed to go there. I'm like, excuse me?
Insane.
This is the guy who runs it. This is the elected guy. By the way, according to the Constitution, he's the only one in whom the executive power is vested. The Constitution doesn't talk about other people. So all that power, executive power, flows from the president. There's nothing else. So the president delegates and says, okay, well, I'll delegate it to this secretary. And then the secretary delegates it to that person, and then so on and so forth. But that's the source of the power. So the bureaucracy does not have its independent source of power where somewhere in the Constitution it says, these bureaucrats, they have this constitutional power to decide all these things. They don't.
Right. No, I totally agree. I mean, if we let this vicious monster kind of build up in the background over the last 40 years or so, and then he's got to wipe that out before he could really be productive, and then I guess clear the thing out for the next person. If you enjoyed the short clip, click right here to watch the full episode, and remember to subscribe to the channel. God bless.